goes. Ooh. Good morning, artists. Happy Friday. I've got a little, I don't know, it's a spooky mood. It's rainy out. It's kind of dark. It's not too cold, but it felt a little spooky. So I put on a little soundtrack from one of my favorite games to watch people play. So we've got a little quieter music than usual. It's a little creepy. But we're going to keep working on our paper cranes today. Happy Friday again, and make sure that you guys are getting your pictures in today, your 2 pictures of your cranes, and we're going to just kind of keep going from there. We got a holiday weekend coming up. I'm still planning on probably streaming on Monday like usual, and probably put the new assignment up then as well, because I still want you guys to have enough time to do it. I know that a lot of you will be celebrating the holidays over the weekend, and that's fine. It won't be too strenuous of an assignment. I think you guys will have some fun with it, and we'll just keep on going from there. All right? So let's get to it. Let's get started. I'm going to swing you around. Whoosh. Okay. So, as of yesterday, we managed to finish 50 again. So Wednesday 50, Thursday 50. And we're just going to keep moving with it, and we'll see how we do today. Still got plenty of paper left. Cut up some fresh colors too, just in case. And we'll get right into it. I know, I was thinking this morning that I just wanted to do some different music on the stream today. And I really enjoy this game called Layers of Fear. Surprise, it's about an artist. But it's a sad game. It's spooky and it's sad. It's an artist who got so obsessed with his work and wrapped up in his inability. He had an artist block. He didn't know what to paint anymore, and it kind of drove him mad. And I mean, it's a scary game, so of course, no spoilers, but it didn't go well for him or his family. Got a little more room there, so let's creep that over. There we go. Okay. Trying to make as much room as possible. They were saying this morning it's going to get warmer this weekend, but with the warmer weather comes the chance for thunderstorms. Now, of course, there's parts of Michigan that definitely do not need more rain. I love a good thunderstorm. I do. I will admit it. I will not be unhappy if there is a thunderstorm. But hopefully it'll be like a heat storm where it's just lightning and thunder up in the clouds and it's not really raining. That would be, I think, a fair compromise. Although my sister told me that her supervisor at work, his family lives up in Midland, and they had to evacuate. Everyone was fine. One of their family members, I think, was able to get back in their house already. And it's going to be a long time cleaning up. There was some talk, too, about people when they evacuated, left their pets behind. And there was a whole thing where there was like an animal rescue group that they go into disaster areas like that, like flooding, and try to find and help any animals, pets that were not able to be brought out. And my sister and I are both looking at this like, are you for real? Like, I mean, if emergency services came through and said Canton is about to be hit with a tidal wave, get out, you know, grab whatever you can in 5 minutes and get out. The first thing I'm going to be grabbing is my dogs. I'm going to be all like, okay, boys, it's time for a car ride. Let's go get in the car. And they'll be all excited, and we'll get their leashes on, and they'll jump out in the car. And then once they're in the car, see, how much time we got left? We got 3 minutes. Go. And then we're going to grab everything else that we need. Which, everything else is probably going to consist of dog food and dog medication. Computers. Maybe clothes. Some people, I guess, they mostly just grab clothing and stuff. And I'm like, I will get new clothes if I have to. But first thing that is going in that car are the dogs. So tornado coming. Get down in your basement to get the dogs first. Grab the dogs, get them downstairs, bring lots of treats so they're distracted. There you go. Forest fire. Must evacuate. Try to grab the dogs. We have a shelter for everybody. You're gonna have, but you can't bring any animals into the shelter. I will be living in my car, thank you. I love this music. Hopefully, YouTube won't flag me for it. But it's just so pretty. It's perfect rainy day type music. And it's a game that doesn't have too much in the way of, oh my gosh, I haven't been tracking. That's fine. Okay. People would argue it's more like a walking simulator, a haunted house simulator. You move from one room to the next. Maybe you have to solve a puzzle, find a combination, watch a spooky scene. But that's why it's so important that it has good background music, and it does. It has themes. It has some very clear themes for the artist, for his wife, for his kid. There's several different versions of it. There's full orchestrated versions of the songs. There's music box versions. Oh, I just heard thunder, you guys. Man. Down in the basement when the thunder's happening. So yesterday I finished the carving that I'd been working on that I showed you guys the other day. And hopefully this weekend I can figure out my video software well enough that I can put that together. Now post it up. I won't post it up on my school YouTube channel. It'll go on my more personal YouTube one, but I'll still I'll probably link it to you guys. I'll share it one day. Share it on the classroom. Facebook, Instagram, all those things. Of course, as soon as I finished that carving, though, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I picked up a couple new tricks for how to use the material. I should try and just do a small one for you guys one day. The one I had is pretty big. It's like 2 feet tall. So it'd be a little bit tough doing it on the stream like this. Not that I don't think the arm will stretch enough to reach everything, but it'd have to be kind of far away if you were going to see all of it. And then if I did close-ups, it would be a lot of movement that happens. When I did my video of the last one, I had to shift my camera around a couple different ways to get different views. Tough part is, and you guys have seen it on here, is I'll start working on one area and then I'll just move on to the next area because I'm grooving with it, and then it'll be off. It'll be out of range of the camera, so you can kind of hear me working, but you can't see what I'm doing, which is especially bad if I'm talking about what I'm doing and you can't see it. You're just kind of listening to commentary and staring at the screen. Some of this background music is just, it's almost just ambiance at times. Sorry if you can't hear it too well. Just spooky background ambiance. I would, oh my gosh, I would love to play, probably some of my favorite video game music is from the spooky Silent Hill series. And that's just got some really awesome tracks. Same kind of idea. There's some of them that are like almost haunting. Some that are just outright spooky. It's a great group of music that I'll play when I'm doing if I'm doing our artwork, trying to focus or something. It's good for homework and stuff too. But that music is pretty well protected. I'm pretty sure that if I tried to put it in the background, I wouldn't be able to upload my video. They're pretty stingy with it, which is ridiculous because the game series has been out of development for a long time. It's been a long time since we got a Silent Hill game. I think I heard a rumor that they were trying to get that started again, but don't quote me on that. I couldn't tell you for sure. And I'm sure anything that they said that they might have been starting, plans have been changed since the Rona. Tea break. Yummy. Today's flavor is cinnamon. I let the hot water sit a little bit too long, so it had started to cool by the time I made the tea. It's like perfect temperature right now. It's like Warm enough to still be good, but not so hot that you can't chug it. Which I know, tea probably shouldn't be like chugged. But when it's so good, you can't help it. There we go. It's the artist's theme. I shouldn't sing. I'll break the microphone if I start singing. Okay, but it's Friday, which means it's anime night. I actually found a new show it's pretty silly, but to be honest, there's not too much out right now. We're kind of in that weird, the spring season has kind of ended. Everything that's like, the fresh round of spring season ended. Everything's kind of slowed down because of the pandemic. And a lot of the bigger shows, they tend to do like a spring or a fall season, which is usually like, depends. Full season is about 24 episodes. Half season is 12 or 13. Shows that tend to do half seasons, they might come out like every year, or sometimes they'll do every half year. I'm pretty sure that's what my 100% favorite show, Haikyuu, is doing. They just had a shorter season of about 12 episodes, I think. 10 or 12 episodes. And I heard they're going to continue in the fall. Hopefully that hasn't changed because of the situation in the world. But other shows that will do like a full 24 episodes, those will sometimes, it might be a year, sometimes a year and a half or 2 years before the new season happens. I think that happened with My Hero Academia. It was at least a year between seasons last time. My good friend who is part of our anime viewing night, she lives in Maine. We started watching Academia together, and she got curious and decided to start reading ahead in the comics. So she's been like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait! You're gonna love it." I'm like, "Stop it! You're gonna spoil something. I know you are." No spoilers, please. I wonder if there's a way to keep this from focusing in and out so much. My hands aren't that big. I guess I shouldn't complain though, because I do that about Haikyuu. I have read ahead. Part of that is because people were spoiling it online, and I couldn't go and look for fun stuff without being spoiled. So I said, forget it. I'm just going to have to read the comic, and then no one can spoil me, because I will have read it. I would like to, I do hope that the show keeps going. Man. Academia is a great superhero story too. We talked way too much about superheroes yesterday, so I'm not gonna. I won't go too deep, but it'd be cool if they were able to find a way to. I mean, that doing it in an animation form is perfect, because having any kind of superpowers, you have to use CG, and that can get it can get dangerous. End up looking poorly. But it'd be cool if more superhero type stuff really looked outside of the two current leading methods of either super dark Snyder Nolan gritty sad superheroes, or Joss Whedon's super sarcastic, everybody is giving out one-liners type thing. I am curious about a couple of things, though, that are coming up with Marvel. Talked a little bit about Black Widow yesterday, and that it feels weird to kind of go back in time with that. I would like to see another Doctor Strange. I really enjoyed the first one, and I am a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch. He's the actor who played him. He's played a lot of other great roles. I've seen him in a couple different movies. He's always awesome and dramatic. So I'd like to see more of him. I would like to see another Captain Marvel. I hope that, they're able to do a little more with her. And I'd be very curious to see what they do about this idea of Natalie Portman taking up Thor's hammer and becoming essentially the new Thor. Because I like Natalie Portman. She's a great actress. They totally played it wrong, though, with her. Especially in Thor: The Dark World, she's just completely helpless. And it was very frustrating to have her just kind of be sidelined. It'd be great to see her in a more heroic action role. Hear that music? This is the kids' theme. I do such a good job of doing this cool little music box, and then it just gets so creepy. Yeah, another good theme. The theme of the artist's wife, who was a musician. The artist and the musician made for a nice pair until he went crazy. Or maybe he was always crazy. They made a second one. Second Layers of Fear game. I need to like rewatch somebody play it though, because I've watched a lot of different people play the first one. And it had some great scary moments, and you know, it was pretty, it was cool to uncover the mystery throughout of what had happened to this family. But the second one, it was like they wanted to hold out the mystery until the very end, because the ending would have slight differences depending on your choices. I don't remember too much of it, except I felt it was a lot harder to follow what was going on. And then the same company got hired to make a Blair Witch video game. Which Blair Witch was a spooky movie too. Tried to turn it into a spooky game. I think they were a little bit too caught up in trying to tell their own story and not as concerned with the lore of the Blair Witch. I probably shouldn't talk as much about spooky games and movies. Dangerous. That is not my music. What is that? That is definitely not from Layers of Fear. That's odd. I was gonna say, there is no rock music in Layers of Fear. Thank you very much. Look at that. That was precious seconds taken away from my paper folding now. Unfair. My count is ruined. So I've already started work on a new carving. There's a couple, I have a lot of different kinds of boards that I've collected. Because foam core can come in a couple of different varieties. You can get the white foam core, which is just white poster board over white styrofoam, which is nice. There's black foam core, which is black poster board over black foam. There is the black covered foam core, so like it's black poster board, but a white foam center, which I used for one of the earlier pieces I did, which is a Slender Man piece. And then the one that I use for my more recent ones, which has a black poster board, but the poster board itself, it's like a black surface over white paper, and then has a gray, kind of silvery foam center. So most of them, if it's just all black or all white, you get one color. If it's the black board on top of the white foam, then you got two colors. And if it's the black covering to the white paper on the gray foam, you get three colors. And it's kind of nice to be limited. I know that there have been times some of you guys have had a little trouble since you don't have as much coloring supplies at home as we do at school. It's like you want to use color on things, but you just don't have the options. But it can be really kind of fun to limit yourself that way so that you only have a few colors, or in some cases almost no color. And I've kind of used each board for a different, I guess you could say, series almost. I have a group of different ladies from mythology, and those are all on the triple color with the gray center. I have some kind of just random myth ones that are with the black and white. And I think I only have 2 right now that are either all white or all black. And those are interesting because they're very subtle. It's almost hard to see what's going on with them until you get close. If you take a picture from far away, unless you have really good lighting happening, you don't really see too much of the detail. But one of them is this cool piece I did of a black wolf. And it's cool because when you carve away the paper on top, the styrofoam underneath has it's plasticky, so it has a bit of a shine to it. So when the light hits it just right, it almost has it almost is sparkling. I've tried to enter him in an art show and didn't make it in. That was a couple of years ago, though. 2 years ago. Personally, I think it's because they only let you send in pictures of the work. They don't actually look at your work, which I think is a shame. Because some pieces you really should see from up close. And I mean, maybe they expect their artists to have studio level photography going on, but some of us art teachers don't have that kind of money to be able to put together a top quality photo studio with lighting and camera just for the purpose of taking pictures of their artwork in the hopes that somebody will put it in a show. But maybe things will change a bit. Haven't heard back yet from our local community gallery. Kind of hoping maybe this time around they'll like the stuff enough. If not, I might just have to wait till the fall when there's other shows opening. Try in there. If nothing else, I need to start putting some money aside to start framing them. I've got like a portfolio full of artwork that is currently just sitting around. I need to frame it so I can at least start hanging it up somewhere. I think I miscounted. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. No, 27. That's weird. There shouldn't be an odd number of this paper. Did one of them double up? Oh, that's weird. All the paper gets cut a certain way. Did somebody steal a paper? That's weird. I mean, it's probably that I just accidentally doubled one up. That's the most likely scenario. But it's weird. That's all right. When I finally put it all together, we'll make sure there is proper numbers. All right, weird number of yellow, but there's no stopping. We cannot stop to fix it. We must keep going. This paper feels different. Yeah, it's definitely different. This feels way smoother compared to some of the other paper. Interesting. Wonder if there's something in the coloring process, or if it's supposed to be part of a separate pack. It's very possible that they, people who made this package have smaller ones. Like, here is the neon package, and here's the pastel package. And then they just grab from those to create their bigger box. It's weird when the paper changes, because everything that you were just doing on the other one feels different now. Paper doesn't fold in exactly the same way. Thanks, phone. Bam. Bam. Heard another school district starting to make plans for next year. Ann Arbor School District, just a little closer to me currently. Nothing as definite as the other district that I talked about earlier this week, West Bloomfield. They have a very kind of clear idea. They're making a schedule and everything. It sounds like Ann Arbor at the moment is talking about they're going to be giving people the options of whether they are in person within the building or staying at home. And that feels very confusing, because depending on what classes they take, that's going to be pretty challenging. I mean, if you are in a robotics class, for example, like we have a robotics class, that is not necessarily something you can do at home. I mean, unless you have the right programs that you can program stuff. I mean, you're not going to have the supplies. That has to be in person. So I have a feeling it's not going to necessarily be the way that we're going to go. I really like the idea of that West Bloomfield is doing, where fewer people in the building, some online, some not. I see that working really well for an art class, to be honest. But we shall see. Hopefully we'll start getting some information about it soon. So we can start planning. This will be the summer of planning. You can not go outside or go, well, you can go outside, but not going out. No going to the theater. No out for dinner. It'll be the summer of planning. Well, like it is most years. Last summer I had started my classes last summer. So that kept me pretty busy throughout most of it. So there'll be more of that this summer. More school for me. More planning. More art. I at least have to use up all the foam core that I bought. I also have a bunch of canvas. I don't remember how I got all that canvas. I'm pretty sure it was probably Christmas presents over the years that have just kind of piled up, because I'm not as much a canvas painter. I mean, my usual style is cartoons, so it's a little bit harder to do something like that on canvas with paint. It's not impossible, of course, but my friend in Maine actually really got into doing those paint pouring, where you mix your acrylic paint with I'm not even sure what it is, but you pour it out over the canvas and let it just kind of flow around. Makes cool designs and stuff. Really pretty stuff. I thought about it, but it does use up quite a bit of paint. And there's a decent amount of it that just goes right off the canvas and just is gone, no longer usable. So to me it feels a little bit wasted, but that was me. Looked really awesome. I would be interested in attempting it, but probably not something I would do on my own time, and probably not something I would ever do in a class, because the opportunity for mess would just be ridiculous. Plus, I know it's hard for some students to accept the idea of making any kind of a mistake. It can be difficult enough. A student will be doing a drawing and make a mistake and want a whole new piece of paper. It's like, just erase it. Or make it work. So there'd be no way that we're going to do like a paint pouring on a piece of canvas. I messed up, I need to start over, I need a new piece. No. No siree, Bob. How does this look compared to... Oh, that's darker. I have a couple from... I don't even remember what color this might have been matching. I don't think this is from the same thing. No. This must have been from some leftover paper, yeah, because it's got white on the inside. I thought maybe if some of these I have some like leftover paper from cutting stuff up for class when I did the 1,000 paper cranes with second trimester class. Yeah, there's you can you can buy 1,000 sheets of paper, but there's going to be a couple students that will decide to keep one or will mess it up, tear it, and then throw it away without telling you. So then you always end up short a few pieces of paper. So I had a couple of pieces of big, like 12 by 12 paper. And I had to cut that up for the kids to use. So I took some of the leftovers to make little ones. The other thing I do is I gotta order supplies. I should have been doing that this week. Been distracted. It's pretty quiet upstairs today. Rainy day, dogs are napping. My poor older dog, Wesker, sprained his tail last weekend. Which they're Shibas. The both my dogs are Shibas, which means they have very curly tails that curl up over their back. And it's unusual to see their tails go down. I mean, there's default tail is up and curled. And then all of a sudden it was just Wesker's tail was just, boom, flat down. Not moving, no wagging, which he is definitely a waggy tail dog. And I'm pretty sure this has happened once before, where his tail has, for lack of a better term, his tail died. But it's been slowly coming back. I got a tail wag this morning. It was like it curled up, did a little wag, and then it started to fall again. And I'm like, oh, don't hurt yourself, please. Relax. You poor old dog. All your medical conditions that you already have, please. He's a good boy, though. Wesker's funny. He is not a fan of water. Neither of them really are. They don't like it when we have to take baths. We're very careful never to use the word bath in association with them being in the tub. That way we can talk about when we want to give them a bath. And then we can be sneaky about it later. Neither of them like it. Woo. But for Wesker, that also translates to, if it's raining outside, he's not a big fan. He would like to go for a walk, but when we get home then, a lot of the times after a walk, he still wants to go outside and just kind of hang out. But if it's raining, he will not do that. Wiley, on the other hand, does not care if it's raining. He will go and he will sit out on the back porch. I'll watch his ears flick. If it's bad, he'll come inside. Of course, he doesn't like it when it's pouring, but if it's like a drizzle, he doesn't mind a drizzle. But then he wants to come inside, and he wants to curl up next to you while he is all wet fur. He's like, I want you to pet me. I'm like, you're soggy. I don't want to get soggy. then you pet him anyway because he is such a love. He gives you those sad eyes, looks over his shoulder at you like, please pet me. You never pet me. It's been 10 minutes since you last pet me. I'm so alone. Ooh, this music's definitely creepy. A little squeaky. Weird. There it goes. I was about to say, maybe we need to skip ahead of that, but that track ended. Look at this music distracting me again from my work. Makes my paper crane folding seem so ominous with this background music, though. There we go. Back to the kids' theme. Sing. This is why I shouldn't sing. So next week we'll have a new assignment going up. We'll see who chose to participate in our paper crane challenge. Let's count that again. I think I might have. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 8, 40, 42. No, there's nothing. Feels a little bit slower today. Maybe my hands are getting tired. I mean, we are doing close to 50 in an hour. It is pretty impressive, I would say. If I was able to keep that up, I wonder how many hours that would take. I don't know that I want to pause, though, and get out a calculator. $1,000 cranes divided by 50. That's like 100 divided by 5. 25? $25 hours in order to do 1,000. Man, that would be a great YouTube charity live stream type thing. Go live, and we're going to just fold paper cranes. Something to think about, guys. Paper crane challenge. If my count is right, that's going to be... Oh, I didn't mark that last one, didn't I? That's going to be 45, which I think is going to end up being it for our day. I don't want to go too far over. There's that rock music again. What is up with that? That's weird. That's weird. Find something else. All right. Bam. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Not too bad, you guys. There we go. All right. Let's organize this a little better. Or let's just bring the pile into the center a little bit. Organize nothing. Ta-da-da! They look pretty similar, actually, on the screen, don't they? They're pretty clearly a yellow and a green here, but they look pretty close. All right. So, I'm going to spin you back around here. Whoosh. Bam. Center. Fix it. All right. There. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have a really nice Friday and a fun weekend. If you're going anyplace, please still remember you need to be safe. Stay 6 feet apart from people. Wear masks if you can. Possibly do it. I know it's difficult when all you want to do is hang out with friends and family. I get it. I understand. But you got to do what you can to just keep yourself healthy. That's the most important thing to think throughout all of this, is to just keep yourself as healthy as you can and help the people around you to also be healthy, especially friends and family, right? The last thing you want is friends and family to also get sick. So wash your hands, cover up, have some fun in between the bouts of rainstorm that we might be getting. And I'll see you guys on Monday, I guess. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.